episode of Candyology. I have a great show for you. It is dating in 2019, y'all. Dating in 2019, y'all. Yes. So I have some awesome guests with me today, which one of them is already laughing because she knows she ain't gonna be able to keep Lord Father in the name. But what up, Martineus? How you doing?
What's up? Hey guys, I'm Martineus, Albert. Everybody calls me Big Cat. Reside out here in Fort Worth, Texas. Dating in 2019. I'm excited to be on the show. Thank you for having me, Candy.
You're welcome.
Hello world, my name is Jorenda, aka Jaye with 50 Shades with Jaye. Catch my show every other Friday. The next one will be June 7th.
Hey, I'm Taurus. I'm from Dallas, Fort Worth. I'm just here for the show, man. Just to be here. I'm done.
Wait, look at us with that deep voice, y'all.
The Barry White.
The Barry White.
Say it again, do it again. What's your name, bro? What's your name?
It's Taurus.
Oh, it's Taurus. Oh, Taurus. Oh, it's Taurus.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. Listen, so, one of the reasons why I wanted to have this topic today is because, listen, I've been married for how many years? 14 years. Was with him for 15 and a half, and I am recently single, so in the last year and a half. So almost 2 years now. And so this has been an interesting ride since I've been single. Dating life has changed.
Absolutely.
I am 37. I got hitched at 23, somewhere up in there.
You was a baby.
I was a baby. And everything that I'm used to,
You can throw that out the window now.
they ain't doing that no more.
Not even close.
Not even close. So, I have some questions for y'all today. So you know, a little crazy. So let's do this thing. So, is everybody in the room single?
Yes.
Are we all single? Oh, we single. Okay.
Maybe.
Single.
Maybe.
Dollar bill.
Maybe.
No, just when I'm single like a dollar.
Really?
Yeah, I'm single like a
Okay.
dollar.
So, how long have y'all been single? Like, not in a committed relationship. And I'm gonna talk to Big Cat real quick.
Okay.
How long you been single?
So I was married for 7 years, and I've been divorced for 4 years. Yeah.
So, have you been without a real relationship since then?
I mean, it's been some really good potential there. You could almost say that it was, but didn't pan out. Sometimes things don't work out.
We're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that. Jaye?
She didn't tell us she was gonna ask this question.
At all.
But I've been
Right.
single for a very long time. Some years actually.
Some years?
Some years.
Some
With
years.
the S. Some years.
A real committed relationship.
Yeah, it's been some years since I've had a really committed relationship.
Well, I've been single. And we talking about divorce, the marriage, or we talking about,
All of the above.
all of the above? Okay, about 8 months.
Huh?
8 months, about 8 months.
What?
Oh, he fresh.
Oh,
Yeah.
fresh out. He
You
fresh
still
out.
fresh out the
Fresh.
womb. Oh,
Where that is.
8 months.
Yeah.
That's a short amount of time.
Really
Yeah,
fresh
of
out. He ain't
course.
ready to date yet.
What'd you say, Jay?
He ain't ready.
He ain't ready.
And I ain't
How
ready.
you gonna tell
I don't
him
know.
he ain't
8 months you
ready?
ain't ready. Y'all might get back together. Y'all might still be smashed.
Oh, nah, we don't believe that.
Tip and dip.
So in these prospective relationships, what got you here? Like, what broke up the marriage, the relationship? How we get here?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I got married at a very young age. Didn't go about it the right way. Fell in love with the loving and not actually getting to know the actual person.
So let me make sure we clarify for our viewers. You said the loving,
The loving,
the good,
yeah.
that box,
The ooh
Is that-
ah,
oh,
yeah,
ooh,
ooh ah, yeah.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah,
making sure.
yeah. The
I'm
magic.
just checking. I'm just checking. That's
Nah.
what we talking about.
Yeah. I fell in love with. It was lust, definitely. Fell in love with that definitely, and wasn't even engaged for a very long time. I just went straight to we going to the courthouse, let's go. And I think what hurt was, we didn't go through premarital counseling to kind of lay that foundation. I can honestly say that I didn't have a strong foundation with God, because I think that, when you enter into a union or a marriage, I think especially the man's foundation is very important. But, hindsight is 2020. I was 22 years old. I didn't know nothing about nothing. I'm thinking just because, I'm not out in the streets cheating, or I ain't going to. Back then, the club was a big thing. So I wasn't out in the club with the homies every weekend. That we was going to have a perfect relationship. I didn't have realistic expectations. And so when I jumped into it, I jumped into a relationship with somebody who had kids. I don't have any kids myself. So I came in and I was kind of like Superman. Not to say that I was saving or anything like that, but just I was doing everything and going from being like just graduated college. Like I graduated college and came back to Fort Worth and lived with her. So I didn't have that time to kind of find myself. I'm taking up all the time, my bad. But yeah, but
I would have cut you off.
What I'm saying is, I didn't have that foundation, and took a lot of stuff personal. I can honestly say, first go around, I was not that great of a husband. I can be honest with y'all and really say that. Like that was, sometimes you got to come to terms. Like you always got to do self-evaluation. I feel. I'm really big on looking at both sides of the spectrum and understanding how I got to this place,
right?
And then understanding where things were, and then kind of putting together in my head a plan of what can I do to not fall back into the situation.
So what would you say your major conflicts were?
Major conflicts? Respect.
From you or from her?
From her. Yeah. I'm not trying to. I'll never badmouth her or anything like that. But my love language is words of affirmation, right? Physical touch. Hers was what was it? Acts of service. And
We gonna come back.
Okay. Yeah. Acts of service and quality time. So I was too busy trying to get her to love me the way that I love. You know what I'm saying? And I can honestly say I wasn't reciprocating or trying to understand how she needed to be loved.
Right.
And so that created some conflict. A lot of stuff.
Right.
A lot of stuff. Finances and stuff like that. That's always a big part, especially with young couples. And we young and black, so I ain't gonna say it's two strikes against us, but it's
I would agree.
Yeah. But yeah.
Jay.
What's the question again? I got lost in this conversation.
My bad.
How did you get to the single life? What happened in the last relationship that made you here?
Okay,
right
so
now?
for me, when I was back in the day, I had dated an older guy. So he had older brothers and stuff. So he exposed me to a lot of different things. So when we broke up, I was expecting the next man to do everything that he was doing.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Okay.
How old were you and how old was he?
It ain't no R. Kelly stuff.
I'm just messing.
No, I think it was like when I was in high school, so like 17, he was like 21, 22. But he had older brothers, and he was out of school, so I was getting picked up from high school thinking I was the shit. So he exposed me to quite a bit of stuff. So when we broke up, I was expecting the next person to do the same thing, because he spoiled me, like time, money, taking me out, all types of stuff, love, all that. So it was just like, okay, well, you got to do it too.
Yeah.
Like, what you doing? I got money, but you still supposed to give me some money. Like all this type of stuff. So I think
That's hilarious.
Wow. I mean, it is what it is. That's what I was taught. He was my first boyfriend too. Afterwards, and we was together for 4 years. So.
Oh yeah. He set the standard high.
He definitely did. So after that, we're just like, what? Y'all better come with it or get lost. So, but now, like, I feel like since moving here, because I'm from Michigan, A lot of the guys, I feel like, are scared of commitment. Scared of commitment and just still want to play around in the streets, and I ain't got time for it.
Right.
So that's why I'm here.
I got it.
No, man, I me and my ex, we were just really good friends, point blank period. You know, we got into a committed relationship at a crucial time in our lives. There was a lot of emotional things going on, and we needed each other. It was a season that we needed each other. And then when we walked away from that relationship, we walked away as friends. Both in agreement with it.
So you're currently friends now, and
Yeah, we're good. We're good friends now. We're cool.
Nothing's happening.
Nothing's happening.
I love it.
Anything ex-wife. I got 2 ex-wives. So you know, anything we do with baby mamas, ex-wives, and in real relationships, I don't go back because there's no such thing as no strings attached.
Big facts.
Expound on that for a little bit.
No strings attached. I mean, if you expect to go back to that person, I mean, you can't just give her all that good loving and then expect her not to open back up on you right quick. You know,
The feelings to stay reconnected.
Back in.
I mean, unless you're serious about committing to that person again.
I love you right now. I love you because so many people don't think like that.
Right.
You know, you get that midnight call and I miss you and come knocking at the door. And,
Hey.
It goes down, right?
Down in the deal.
Yeah. Okay.
My bad. So, at what age, because I'm going back for a second, at what age did you guys start dating?
We start dating, having sex. Which one?
Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Big difference. Which one?
Man.
I'm talking about dating. The true definition of dating. Going out with another person, same sex or opposite sex, and actually sitting down, have conversation.
Mine was, I think, high school. High school was mine. I mean, middle school don't count. Do it count?
Do it?
Huh?
No, I mean we all went out as a group. Like we went to the movies and to the mall, so it wasn't really no one-on-one. So I want to say high school for me.
Yeah, high school.
Definitely high school.
I got started early, so
What age was this?
I mean, actually, like dating, like the
5th grade.
one-on-one thing.
Yeah, one-on-one.
It was elementary. Or something.
What? I said 5th grade.
You ain't hear me say 5th grade.
Like we would go to the park and greet each other. That was a date. Yeah.
That was definitely a date.
Yeah, that was a date.
Was you
That was
dry
a date.
humping early too?
Hey,
In 5th grade.
and-
I'm weak.
And if she was older, she'd bring you something to eat. Though.
You know what I'm saying? And now when I got older, like you know, I had lawyers picking me up.
Oh man.
Okay, check you out. Check you out.
Yeah.
Doing
I
big
mean,
things.
because I went on one-on-one dates in middle school, but I don't feel like that really counts.
He said elementary
I don't feel like
though.
that counts. I had boyfriends in elementary school.
No, I ain't. I was a tomboy. I ain't had that. No.
Oh, I ain't had a problem.
They had the
I was
cooties to
always
me.
boy crazy.
Yeah.
I was
Oh
always boy
no.
crazy.
I grew up with boys, so they had the cooties.
And see, I'm my only child, so that's a little bit different too. Because you know, cousins and anyway, we can get into all of that. But I think to me, my real first true date was I was 16 or 17, probably. But then I think I wound up having sex with him too. But anyway, yeah, let's go back.
Alrighty then.
So in this dating arena right now, I kind of asked that question because what's the difference between dating then and dating now? Dating then?
Social media.
Expectations.
Social media expectations. What else you think?
The understanding of people.
Communication.
Definitely
Completely
communication. Absolutely completely different. So for instance, the guy that took me, keep in mind I was 17 and he was 30.
Don't incriminate him,
He was
please.
30. He was 31.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 17 and 31. Yeah. So because he couldn't pick me up from home, obviously, because my mom didn't know about it. But he picked me up from a friend's house, took me to dinner, paid for dinner, you know, and we took a walk in the park, all that kind
Very
of stuff.
romantic.
That was our first date, right?
Okay.
Very, very romantic.
Did y'all hold hands?
Yes.
Okay.
We held
Okay.
hands.
You know,
We kissed at the end of the
okay.
date.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't do nothing. I never
Okay.
had sex with him, actually.
Oh.
Never had sex with him.
Okay.
I thought you was about to say y'all had.
Man.
No.
Never had sex.
Did he know you were 17?
We worked at the same place together. He was a manager
Oh.
at Walmart, and I was a cashier. So, that worked.
Fraternizing with the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Against the policy, I know
My
it
bad.
was.
I don't see. Well, back then I didn't see anything wrong with it. Now I have a problem with it. But I'm just saying.
My had the tables turned.
Right. So we went on multiple dates. You know, I mean, he tried to get the goodies at some point, but I wasn't ready. So, I kept telling him I wasn't ready. So he respected that.
That's good.
But that was true courting to me. You know, he took me everywhere. I never, if I even reached for my wallet, he was like, "What are you doing? Put that back."
Yeah.
You know, so that was true courting to me. Nowadays, we going Dutch.
Yeah. Nowadays, these niggas looking at you like, you finna pay? You finna pay?
I don't
Got
have
the
to
tip?
talk about that. I pay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. That is such a foreign concept to me because you gotta have some balls to ask a woman if she gonna pay. Like
They don't necessarily actually do that look like.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even.
My bad,
For me, like if you going out with me, then I'm definitely gonna take care of it. Like that's just the way I feel.
Crazy thing is y'all accepting it. That's the crazy.
That is.
I didn't say that.
I didn't say that neither.
I
I'm
didn't say
saying.
A lot of them are. If it's a deal, a lot of them are.
You know, dates, Netflix and chill, and I'm like,
AKA Netflix and fuck.
So,
Yeah.
what it
Come on,
is.
Lady J. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm like, no, but I really want to go on a real date. And after that, the text messages, the phone calls dwindle on down, because now you know I'm not about that life.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah.
That's one of my kind of hesitancies about dating in 2019 is, you know, finding the perfect balance of somebody who's dating with a purpose and somebody who's just trying to get a free meal.
Right.
Because they know that I do, you know, I will court you, or that, you know what I'm saying, I'm respectful in that manner that you know what I'm saying, I'll take you out, let's have fun.
Right.
But some people are like, hey, you want to go? It's like, nah, I'm good.
You're really not interested.
Right. Or, you know, they only hit you up during, you know, oh, it's my birthday, you gonna take me out?
Right.
No. Okay? No. What about my birthday?
Right. No, but seriously, won't mention no names, but I have a friend who is single right now, and she has about, I want to say 5 guys on the road, right? And at any given time, she's asking them to take her out because she know that they're gonna pay for a meal. She know that if she drop off the good, that they're gonna pay a bill. Or get her those shoes that she wants, or whatever the case may be. And I always tell her that's not cool to me at all, because you're messing it up for the people that actually are trying to find somebody for real.
Absolutely.
You know, you got 5 men on your roster, and I'm just trying to have one. One that I can be faithful to, one that I can be committed to, one that I can be loyal to. But you out here using all of them for different things, and I'm not okay with that.
Preach,
So,
Candy.
I mean, I'm just how I feel. And a lot of my friends call me old school.
I'm old school too. I just want one. I don't want. She making it hard.
It's
She's making it hard.
How is she making it hard though? That's my question.
Cause
it's hard to balance that many people unless you just want to have that lifestyle and continue to make up, you know, lies or whatever. Like, you got to make up a story if somebody's like, hey, I want to kick it, like, but you kicking it with somebody else, so you got to make something up, and you got to continuously like live a different life. And for me, that's too much, man. I'm too old for all that. Like I'm ready to.
Right. And to answer that question, but Taurus, to answer that question, think about it. Now you've gotten, bowled over by this woman, right? And now you find out she got all these people on her roster, and so you salty now. So you're not doing right by this girl or that girl that you come across now because you think that all of them gonna be the same.
That's why she making it hard for us.
I mean, that is true. Hurt people, but I mean, it's just the fact of anytime I get out of a relationship, self-evaluation first before I step into the next. You're not gonna love me the same.
Not everybody.
Not everybody loves the same, and not everybody does the same.
And now you're gonna be able to leave that in the past and not bring it into whoever you're dating with now.
Of course.
Because nowadays some people can't. Like she said, that dude he salty, so the next woman gotta pay for it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And then on top of that, they're not seeing the red flags. Stop ignoring the red flags just because you see something you want.
I ignored all of them. I'm Stevie Wonder.
There you go, right there. That's something that I wanted to talk about. When do we say stop? Yeah. Those red flags, they appear all the time, but it's that little voice inside of us like, something ain't right, and we ignore it here. Something ain't right, we ignore it there. Something ain't right, here we go. And so a lot of people don't have that self-evaluation in themselves to go, I should be listening to this right now.
Right.
And that's a problem. So everybody's not like this, where you can go, okay.
Everybody steps up and say, oh, I want to be an adult, I want to be real. An adult has a conversation. If you have a question or if you see something that's suspicious, it's okay to approach that person that you're trying to date.
Absolutely.
Openly.
I also feel like communication is like the biggest thing, but it varies depending on people's upbringing and background.
Absolutely.
Because, like I said, I'll never throw my ex-wife up under the bus, but she came from a very strong household. She came from her mother and her grandma raised her, and she had 4 sisters. So, they was going at it. You know what I'm saying? And that was the way she communicated. So when it came to arguing and they get into it, disrespect was the first thing because that was her weapon of choice. So the upbringing, I think, is one of the biggest things. What is it like? If I'm dating somebody, I got to see like how they interact with their family, because that tells the tale of how they communicate and their values and their morals, and see where they're at with that.
Right.
Like it's look, I'm doing the FBI investigation.
I wholeheartedly agree. You touched on something that I say all the time, because communication is definitely big for me. If you don't know how to have an intellectual, spiritual conversation with me, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna happen, right? So I was talking to somebody the other day, and he hit me up with, "What you doing?" And I was like, "Okay." I dismissed him before. And I was like,
hold on, why you dismiss him though?
He could not keep up with the intellectual conversation. That's number one. And because, let me just go ahead and say it, Candyology coaching service, I'm a sexuality, intimacy, and relationship coach, right? So he was intimidated by the things that I do, because he felt like I'm out there, doing stuff with all these different people, and that's not my therapy. My therapy is talk therapy, and I'm going to talk people through to where they need to be. And so he was intimidated by the fact that I'm also a Bedroom Kandi consultant. So, I'm out here doing these parties and talking to people how to have better sex and open themselves up to all of these different things. And he didn't like that.
He's closed-minded.
Yeah.
Right. Did you tell him that?
Yeah. I'm very honest.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
So, yeah, he didn't like that. So he hit me up with that, "What you doing?"
Okay.
So his conversation was stale, is what you're saying.
And I said,
"Oh,
how you doing?" And he said, "I'm all right, good. How are you?" And I was like, "So what's been going on?" At this point, we're still texting, because I'm getting ready to call you in a minute.
You can only do so much texting.
You can only do so much.
Right.
And I said, "How you been doing?" And he was like, "Good." Okay.
What a question then. Can I get a question back?
Right. Can we have a dialogue back and forth?
Okay. So I asked you, but you don't care about how my day went. Oh, okay. All right, we here.
So, I threw something else out there. I was like, because he used to ask about my son. So I was like, Colin made another milestone in his speech therapy. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So that was his response. Oh, Okay.
Okay.
So no. Okay. Anyway.
Delete.
Right. Exactly.
Delete, block. You.
I don't do those things. I don't delete and block people.
Oh, I do.
I don't believe. I don't do that.
I don't want you to hate stranger when I'm in a full blown. What you doing, big kid? I don't need none of them text messages. I just block you. I don't have time.
Oh, and how old are you? Oh, that's a millennial.
No, I don't feel like no. I know older people.
I'm joking.
I mean, if they're disrespectful, do you block them or do you just block them? Just, hey.
What?
You rub me the wrong way, you just block them.
No, to that situation, I block them. You know.
No.
Yeah.
They ain't talking about nothing.
If they ain't talking about nothing, we done been on this road before. I know you should continue to go back and forth. It is what it is. You know me. I told you what it was. Delete and block you. Period. With the T.
It's okay.
I don't want to do that.
I'm just saying, back in the day, we couldn't block nobody. We still had to wave at them. I mean, it was cool. We tried. Hey, how y'all doing today? Y'all good? We're going to meet you at the corner store or something. All right, I'll see y'all down there. All right. Ain't no blocking. I'm just saying, that's life. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody don't fit everybody.
So, ladies and gentlemen, are you dating right now?
You so nosy.
I am. Are you dating right now?
Sure.
What does that look like?
I'm open to it, most definitely.
So, do you approach them, or you believe in them approaching you, and what does that look like?
Yeah, it depends on who it is. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm picky. I'm picky. But yeah, if it's somebody that I'm definitely interested in, I'll definitely approach.
So wait, this is a twofold question. So be thinking about your answers because Martineus is on
Oh yeah, because I get lost in everything. I'm like, could you repeat it again? So
twofold question. So you said you're dating, and it depends, right? So earlier I told y'all. So what does the perfect man or woman look like to you? And I'm talking about physicality, spirituality, intelligence. What does that look like for you?
God-fearing, number one. I need somebody that I can laugh with. Humor is definitely a big thing for me. I'm super silly, super goofy. I don't like somebody who's super uptight.
Right.
Kind of like somebody that's experienced.
Experienced?
Yes.
Experienced.
They want you to explain it.
Oh yeah, I know they do. That's why I'm like, excuse me. You heard what I said. Experience, just somebody who's dated before, somebody who just hasn't. Somebody, I ain't gonna say been around the block, but somebody that's lived their life a little bit.
So you're not willing to teach? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
What I like? Not the basics.
Okay.
Not the I refuse to teach somebody how to kiss.
Oh, okay.
I refuse to teach somebody just how to interact with me. You know what I'm saying?
But here, let me pose a scenario. What if nobody's ever told them that they're a bad kisser?
That has nothing to do with me. Nah.
But what if they have all these qualities on your list, but they just happen to be a bad kisser? You're not gonna take out the time?
I would. I definitely would. If I like that person, I would. But yeah, if everything else wasn't hitting and I was a bad kisser, I was like, all right, be like her, block. Nah. I don't. My block list is. I have nobody on my block list. So like, I don't ever do that. Because you never know when something might happen. You never know. I don't block. But if it's somebody I like, I would definitely. Hey, let me. I ain't gonna lie. I like to lead. Let me lead. Like, slow down. Let me lead. But yeah. But yeah, somebody who's not
the aggressor.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah.
He over there eating them sweet tarts. That's what we over there printing all that damn paper, making that noise and shit.
So like physical traits, it depends. Like if we vibing, if our chemistry is strong, I've dated tall, short, chocolate, short, thick, slim, thick.
Slim thick, what's so cute?
Real thin?
I have. Yeah. Look. I don't discriminate. If we vibing. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know some people that won't date thin girls at all.
Thin.
And I know some that won't date BBWs. So.
Yeah. I mean, I like proportion. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I like variety pack.
Yeah.
Variety pack. What does that mean?
Whatever floats my boat.
Oh,
Exactly.
That daddy.
It could change. It changes though. It could
Change.
change.
Today you like
the
vanilla,
season.
tomorrow you like chocolate. I mean, sometimes you like thick, sometimes you like petite, slim thick.
You might have one with a tiny waist that's chocolate and real pretty. You never know. Like, she might be super cool.
It's just something about that person that attracts you, basically.
Right. The vibe.
So I'm gonna come back to you in a second.
Okay.
Jaye!
Yeah, look.
My go.
Jaye!
All right, so I am currently dating.
Uh-huh.
I am dating. I keep forgetting the second question. No, I'm just playing.
What does that look like? Yeah, we go.
What does that look like?
Okay, so I go on dates, I hang out, go to the movies, the easy peasy type shit. But my ideal guy would be, again, humor is A1. You have to keep me laughing, smiling. I'm goofy as shit, so that's number one. I recently just started dating outside the box because I used to have a type. So now it's just like, again, whatever floats my boat, you know what I mean? If you make me happy, if we can hold a conversation, if we can go out and have fun, if I can just, be myself effortless, you know what I mean? That's all I look for. It's like I'm picky, but I'm not picky at the same token, if that makes sense, I just really like somebody I can vibe with, the chemistry, just to have fun, because life is about having fun and just being happy and, let's get this money and travel.
Man, come on. Lady Jaye. Trying to get these stamps. You're looking at
Is that all he needs to have?
He has to have a relationship with God. I mean, whatever your relationship is, that's between you and him. You know what it is. You got to make a living without me. You got to be able to manage everything without me. And I'm just an extra as well as you are extra in my life. I don't, that's basically about it.
I'm interested to know what this former type was, though.
Oh, my former type was,
Yeah.
I'm saying, little Chris Brown looking ass. But no, he's light skinned, tall, had to play basketball or something.
Boo.
I know.
Boo. I regret even asking that question.
I think you got it with the light skin.
I know. Wait, let me tell y'all. So it's funny. It's funny now because now I'm all about the chocolate now. Hey, let me tell y'all.
So you made it.
So it definitely has changed. Now me and my homegirl were just having this conversation. She was like, this one dude tried to talk to her. She was like, nah, he ain't dark enough. And she light skinned too. I'm like, what, it was crazy because back in the day, it was just all light skin. Now it's just like, you ain't dark enough, man. Keep it moving.
So what made you change it? I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm trying to figure out what made you change.
Well, I mean, I don't know, just
older.
trying something new, getting older and stepping outside the box. Your shade has nothing to do with how you gonna love me. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, inquiring minds wanting to know. So,
Mind your business, Candy. Mind your business.
I date whenever I have time. Whenever I have time, I go on dates,
whenever you have time.
Whenever I have
What do you do for a living again, George?
Huh?
What do you do for a living again, George?
I own a couple of businesses.
Yeah. What did you call it again the other day? No, I'm not gonna put you on the spot.
I also got a whole trade line. I'm just really open as far as what a woman is. Mm-hmm. She's got to be into me, period. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm tired of when the dating with the purpose, all this blah blah blah. That's irrelevant to me. Mm-hmm. To me, like if I step to you and that chemistry is dope from there, and then the next time we see each other, we can really get into a conversation. In our conversation, you're actually seeing what I'm saying and hearing and feeling, and you can reciprocate that. You know what I'm saying? That's my type. I mean, I've been all over the world. My second marriage, I was married in Ethiopia, so I can tell people all the time, it ain't the race. People are like, oh, I'm gonna get me a white girl, I'm gonna get me a black. It ain't the race, it's the culture.
Right.
So that's me.
So what I hear you saying is that you're a sapiosexual like me.
Yeah.
You know what that is? Yeah, that's attracted to intellect. There is something so
Simmer down over there, Ken.
sexy
Get it, girl.
about a man that can have an involved intellectual conversation. Oh my God.
But a lot of people don't open up like that to you no more.
Exactly.
That's the problem. These ladies around here, hey baby, how you doing?
And fellas.
Okay, well, okay, little young bucks, little young bucks. Okay.
That's definitely.
Yeah.
I'm ready to take my clothes off. We can have an intellectual conversation.
Right.
Come on.
Oh,
A conversation rule the nation. That's what the old said. Conversation rule the
She
nation.
ready to strip.
shit. So to answer the question, I mean, I'm dating.
Candy.
I'm dating,
Candy.
but there ain't nobody to date. Like the people that approach me, they're inconsistent. And I'm
Consistency is key.
Consistency is key because if you cannot be consistent, I will not be engaged.
Now let me ask you this: if they consistent, are you engaging though?
Yes, absolutely.
It's a lot of women out there. Like you'll be consistent. They say, "Oh, I want a man that's gonna engage. I want a man that's gonna chase me." I ain't chasing
I'll
nothing,
chase you
baby.
back, though.
That's what I'm saying. If you can chase me back, yes.
Exactly.
Yes, they try to teach. Like, what do you have for me to continue to chase you?
Right.
What do you bring to the table?
Right. I don't even know that yet. I don't know that yet. So what?
Right. So, I'm one of those, I used to sneak up to my husband's job and just be like, here, baby, here's your meal. And I would be wearing my little robe and, here, this is what you got to come back to later on. And close that robe up and go home. And he was thinking about it for the rest of the time.
Okay, Candy.
So when he come home, it's gonna go down.
Going down.
Going down.
Hey.
I'm just saying, I know how to chase you back, bro.
Right.
But I have a list. I wrote mine down though because I can't.
Your list of what you want.
List of what I want in a man.
Okay.
So I'm very musically inclined. So I need somebody that's musically inclined as well.
Okay.
And that could just be that you like to listen to music like I do. But I'm a dancer and I'm a singer, and so I want you to be supportive in those things. God-fearing and actual relationship. You ain't gotta go to church on every Sunday, but I need to know that if I say, baby, can you pray with me?
Man,
Hello.
gotta have that prayer life.
That it's gonna go down.
This
I am a prayer warrior. No matter how much I joke around about other things, because I'm a PK, y'all. We was having that conversation. But I'm a prayer warrior. You tell me something is going on with you. Hold on, wait a minute. I got a text message from a friend of mine that I'm very close to, and he said, "I need you to pray." Okay, Father, right now in the next, like that's just me. Yep. And you need to be able to do that for me. Family oriented.
Oh, I skipped that one. That's a good one.
I want your family to be involved in your life, good, bad, ugly, and different. I want you to be involved in your family's life. Now I get it, things happen, whatever, but that's very important to me because my family is not around. My father's gone, my mother's an absentee mother, so it's very important. Our family was very small on my mother's side, and my father's side is in another state. So it's very, very important to me.
That's very
kind of
big.
similar to mine, Candy.
See?
Very big. Mine's the same way. So when you said that was actually one of the reasons why I got married at such a young age. Yeah. Go ahead, continue.
No, you're good. Because and I wanted to spark conversation, of course.
Right.
But his being divorced now, his family was a part of me. And then now there's a total disconnect, and I only talk to my son's grandmother, and sometimes his sister. So, it's very different dynamics. When I could count on you before I can't count on you.
Right.
Because when you divorce him, you divorce or her, you divorce their family too. I want another child. I only have one. My son is 4. My biological clock is ticking, so I want one more.
I need one.
How many dates before you put that out there? How many dates do y'all have before you put that out there?
Before I put that out there.
Oh, I asked kind of like the first date. Are you willing to have children?
Because
I date older men.
Yeah.
And I don't have any.
I ask that before I go on the date, honestly, because I believe in having conversation before I go on the date. So
Let's not waste that time.
Right. I don't want to waste that time, honestly.
Because if they say no,
I just started passionate and I'm ready to have another child. The passion when you ask him, is it that type of passion?
It really is, because I originally wanted 6 kids.
I want a 5, Candy. I want a 5.
Is that the first conversation too?
Is that a deal breaker?
It is a deal breaker for me if you don't want to have a child.
If you don't want,
So a child.
A child.
Okay.
I have a child. You must want to have another one with
Another
me.
child.
What is the limit of kids that you?
Oh, I'm really done after that. If he wants another one, I'll get
No, I'm saying of the person that you're dating. Like, what would you like? What's the limit for him to have, or for
Oh, 2 is probably my max.
Miles too.
Because like I want another child, so that would make 4. Yeah, no more than that. I'm done.
So now y'all got limits on how many children he can have?
Oh, most definitely.
Well,
he can't have no whole squad and ain't got none.
Right. You can't have a whole.
What if he can take care of them?
Okay, that's what he's supposed to do.
If he can take care of them, then that's something I will definitely reconsider. But most of the time, when people are talking about having, you come in with 5 kids, and I'm asking you to have another one with me, and I got 1, so that makes 7 kids.
Well, here's my thing. It's about what you wanted in life. You wanted another child. It's not about what that person wanted. He might not have wanted another child, but when he met you, he gave you another child.
Okay.
So regardless, you start to limit your pool at that particular point when you set your mindset like that.
So I'm a very open person, but here's the deal. You have. First of all, I don't want you coming in with 5 different baby mamas with you as well, because that deals with your psyche. It breaks down the relationship, especially if you don't have a good relationship with those baby mothers. Now I have to deal with those as well. So it's a lot It's a lot of factors.
Too much unneeded drama.
Right.
I have 0 tolerance for drama. 0.
And I'm willing to work with you. But 5 different baby mamas,
That's 5 different
4 different
personalities.
baby mamas, that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with.
I got a question for y'all too, because y'all have kids, right?
Right.
You have kids? Sorry.
Grandkids.
Okay. So would you date somebody that did not have kids?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. Because I know sometimes women be like, I only date men that have kids because they have kids.
Nope, I'll definitely.
They only say that because of the selfish issue. Like if they don't have kids, then that person's more selfish than someone that's the view that they have.
It's facts.
Interesting.
It's facts.
Right. Because like the person that I was talking to for the past year, he has no kids. But what I saw in him was something that I was like, oh, he'll be an excellent father. He's good to my son. You know what I mean? So it was not a big deal. It's never a big deal for me if you don't have kids. But you have to want some, because I got 1 and I want another. So, we good.
That's a long list.
It is a long
Mine
list.
probably would have been long too if I had the opportunity to write it out.
Cut that thing down, Candy.
The whole point is to spark the conversation.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I need you to be able to cook for yourself. And here's why.
Excuse me?
I need you to be able to cook for yourself, and here's why.
Okay.
I don't like to cook. I can cook. Okay, let's put that out there. I can definitely cook.
Can you
but
throw down?
I was made, yes.
That
I
remains
was
to be
made
determined.
to cook. My husband was a chef, but he didn't want to cook. So I cooked at least 5 to 7 times a week.
That's the reason why you don't want
That's
to.
why I don't want to cook all the time anymore. So like I'm willing to cook like 2 or 3 times a week for you.
Teamwork.
But
You cook.
You need to be able to cook too. You need to be able to cook for yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, Taurus. I see your face. I see your face. Yes, sir.
I'm 6'6", 300 something pounds.
Hey, come on, man.
Come on.
Yeah. We need some love in the pot. Okay, stir that pot up. Put some love in it.
Like I said, I don't mind especially if I really love you and care about you. I don't mind. It's just don't think that you're gonna get it 7 days a week. I can't.
Don't expect it, right?
Yeah. I don't.
I can go get something to eat. Yeah. We can go to Olive, baby. You want some Olive Garden or something? 3 cups or something? I got you. Before you get home, it's on the table. You know what I'm saying? We got that. We can do that.
Hey, them breadsticks, that salad.
You ain't got to cook every day. No.
Most definitely.
You must be comfortable with what I do. So I'm a sexuality, intimacy, and relationship coach. And it will be completely full time by the end of the year. You must be comfortable with that.
From the jump, or
Probably from the jump, because I'm already diving into it right now. Yeah. Like I do this 3 or 4 times a week already. So you gonna have to be comfortable with it, and if not, I'm not the girl for you, because you gotta be comfortable with it. Period. That's who I am. I'm not changing that part. Right. So
boy, gotta be comfortable in this sexuality.
Exactly.
Baby, what can you teach me?
Exactly.
Bring it to the bedroom.
That was your thing.
But the thing is a lot of men, that ego. You know what I'm saying? Like I already know what to do. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's just finding that balance for somebody who, understands what you do and then sees the value in it, and then is able to be transparent enough to say, you know what, let's work on some stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm
saying? You also must be passionate. I'm a very passionate person. So if I tell you something,
you better bring your ass somebody out.
That must be an Aries. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I am. So.
Your birthday passed? April? What is April?
March 26th.
Oh, March.
April 6th.
You was invited to the party, but you ain't
come. Look, I ain't get no invite.
I wasn't invited either.
I ain't get no invite.
You were too.
What the invite?
On Facebook, it was Facebook invite.
Look.
Right.
Play as fuck up. Players mess up. Yeah.
So very passionate. Great communicator. We've already talked about that. Willing to just let me be me, and whatever comes with that. Craziness.
Love you unconditionally.
Right. I need you to subscribe to my crazy. I need you to subscribe to my crazy. Your crazy can be different from my crazy, but I need you to subscribe to my crazy and support me.
Your significant other or boo should be your biggest supporter.
Right. That is part of my love language. Quality time, physical touch is a part of my love language. You have to be. Support was a big thing in my marriage, and he didn't have it.
Man, trying to tell you.
I was holding him up while he wasn't holding me up.
Man.
So, but so that's basic. Oh, and a sense of humor is big too.
Man.
But kind of goes without saying. But yes.
You didn't finish that list.
I did actually. Intelligent, supportive. Romantic.
Oh yeah,
romantic.
I'm a hopeful romantic.
I need romance.
Don't arm me like that.
Yeah.
But y'all are talking about the cupcake stages of relationships, though.
No, why do it have to be the cupcake
It has
stages?
to be throughout the whole relationship.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole relationship.
Throughout the whole
What they say, the same way you got her, the same way you keep her?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I ain't too young. Holla at your girl.
Kind of, sort of, because we all enter different stages in our lives, and we want something different 10 years from now than we want it now.
Well, keep spicing it up. You gotta spice it up.
But that comes with good conversation and communication.
Hello.
Because you're gonna know what I like.
The main, that's what I said. The main, everything else is.
The thing is women, and this is from my experience, women in relationships tend to change and evolve. What they want changes, and this could be from week to week, month to month, day to day, year to year, and you have to continue to find ways to keep the intimacy ignited. There's actually a book called Intimacy Ignited, and I suggest it, man, pick that thing up and read it, because hey, look, us men, and I would definitely admit this, I am a creature of habit. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
But my pops always said you got to switch up your stroke sometimes. So
exactly.
So you definitely got to find different ways to spice it up.
But I think it goes both ways, because I would again, I used to do things for my ex-husband. Valentine's Day, he wasn't the one sending roses and flowers. I was sending him edible arrangements to his job, or a pizza to his job, because I knew that's
something
what
I
do.
We got a lot of time.
Women are so thoughtful. You know what I'm saying? Like us, I know me.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah. So we can't just do the roses. Let's play that. You gotta think outside the box. Nowadays, you gotta think outside the box.
And he would ask me what I would want. So, like, for instance, I'm one that keeps my nails and my toes done all the time. I'm like, give me a gift certificate to my nail shop, and we good. That's right.
But I know a lot of women who don't want you to ask. They want you to know.
Yeah.
Already.
Well, it's for me. I'm speaking for me. Yeah. It's great to know, but if you don't know, I'm gonna tell you. So
it's okay for you to ask and then get an idea of it,
like something for a gift or whatever.
Yeah,
a lot of women that say that cannot. I've run across a few women that can really be into me and know exactly what to get me as a gift. And and every single woman expects you to know them to know exactly what you want, what they want for a gift.
Right. Well, I'm a little different. I'm a different version.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying a lot.
I think that women want something that's thoughtful.
Yeah.
A lot of women like practical stuff that they can use. This from my experience.
Right.
So just picking up on little hints if they mention something throughout the week. Oh, this such and such happened.
Exactly.
I'll be like, okay, let me
put some thought and effort into it. Don't just be like, here. No, I don't want that. Like, you just give me, no, I want you to really put some thought and effort. If I've been saying I want the new Nikes or the pink shoes that came out, just go get them.
Right.
You know, you heard me say it. You paying attention. It's more than just the gift. It's the thought process behind the gift.
Right. I totally agree. So let me ask y'all this: how do you find your dates?
look. However they come.
The grocery store, everywhere. I mean,
DM's been jumping now.
Bam! Here we go. We're in the social media age,
Man.
So it goes down in Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat.
I had a couple dates through IG.
Yeah. Most of mine are Facebook for social media wise.
I would prefer to meet them face, like you come up to me and ask for my name and my number. That's how I would prefer to. But people scared, like guys nowadays, they not finna walk up to. I can be done stared you down and then gave you the look and everything. You still don't know what the fuck going on. Like, come say what's up. Come shoot your shot. Like. I'm trying to tell you, this is so scary.
It's like you finna Mutombo somebody. Not in my house.
No. So I asked this question because I ran through a list, and it's a long list, but I'm only going to talk about a few. There's a long list of dating web apps now, right?
Yeah.
So they have coffee meets bagels. Have y'all ever heard of that one?
I've never heard of that.
That sounds like a restaurant. I know it's a bagel.
That's
the coffee is the man and the bagel is the woman.
That's
so
weird.
I know it's a little weird.
Coffee and bagels.
But hey,
I don't drink coffee.
They have another one called the Inner Circle, and the Inner Circle is educated, career-driven people, and it's also connected to LinkedIn.
What?
So, and there is a waiting list.
I haven't updated my LinkedIn in about 3 years, so
right. But see, I update mine, so I was like, oh, let me see what this waiting list looks like, just to see, where it is. And I'm still on the waiting list, and this has been 3 months ago, maybe.
Oh wow.
But you're in Aries. You want that face to face. You want that.
Exactly, but you can meet me on the app, and you can take me out on my date. Yeah. There's Bumble. Have you ever heard of Bumble?
I've heard of Bumble. I had an old coworker that went through Bumble and she loved it.
Bumble's
That's when
cool.
the girl do all that.
Bumble's alright.
I heard about Bumble. I heard a little bit.
Bumble is quality.
Yeah, Bumble's okay. I just don't like the fact that the messages expire within 24 hours. I'm not gonna check it all.
I think women like that because they have control over who they respond to. Because I've been on other apps that, they was getting them obscene DMs. That's what I've heard. So
like Tinder and Plenty of Fish.
Hey.
I hate both of those.
I'm just old. I don't know none of this.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Tinder and Plenty of Fish. I hate them. They're both about getting laid. They're both about having sex. All of it. All of it.
What's that site again?
Tinder and Plenty of Fish.
Hey.
Just trying to get
Swipe left, swipe right.
So OkCupid. Have y'all heard of OkCupid?
Yeah.
That's based on interest and passions. There's another one, Taste Buds. It's based upon similar music taste.
Oh,
so
I ain't never heard of that.
I haven't gotten on that one yet.
Because
I heard of it,
you
and I was like,
musically inclined.
yeah, but I don't know. I'm I'm a little nervous about that one for some reason. I don't know why I'm nervous.
Go with your gut.
Badu is you upload a pic of a celebrity. I think this is kind of stupid to me.
BADOO?
BADOO.
Okay.
Upload a picture of a celebrity or someone else that's your type. And then based upon that, that's what they're gonna match.
That's
with.
weird as
That's
shit.
weird as hell to me, and I haven't tried that one. I won't try that one. Elite Singles is about serious relationships, so it's 80% of people with university degrees. So
Okay, educated. Come
hello,
on.
educated. So like for my thing, and I think I didn't list that on my list. So I want you to be educated. Now you don't have to have gone through because I have a master's degree. You don't have to go through all of that. No, you don't have to. But I would prefer that you have some type of educational experience. Now there is other type of experience. You know, like you've been working on the same company for 20 years, and you the HR manager or something, or you're your own boss or something like
Right.
that.
Young boss.
Your own boss, you know. That's different.
Long as you know what hard work is.
Right. I'm skipping some of these. Twin dog. You gotta love dogs. That's how people meet.
You have a dog?
No, I don't have a dog, and I don't want a dog. So that's what it's called.
Twin dog. What the fuck?
Twin
That's
dog.
not even. I'm gonna get on twin dog if I don't want me. What the fuck?
If you like dogs.
If you like dogs, I mean, hey, you never know.
But what if you meet up with a person and the dogs don't like each other?
Deal breaker.
Right.
That's a real deal breaker, I guess. I don't know.
What if y'all like each other, they don't like each other? No.
They gonna get rid of the dog, so they twin dog
Man.
no more.
I don't know about that. Love Flutter is, I haven't been on this one either. Quirky Tinder. It's the bio on the Twitter timeline is visible, but the pic is blurred out. So,
You probably got to
So
pay
like
or
a
something.
blind date.
It's about
no, it's
conversation.
free. But you can see their timeline. So you, based upon what's on their timeline, is how you kind of decide
What they're
They
posting.
have a lot of weirdos on there too.
Yeah,
That's weird.
Right. So Jaye is for Jewish people. Jay Swipey is a Tinder for Jews. So Christian Mingle, eHarmony,
I'm a
Match.com.
Black people meet.
You can't go on Christian Mingle. How you gonna be on Christian Mingle talking about you want to get on POL?
Christian Mingle.
I'm weak.
Good Christian.
Pick a side. Pick a side. Sorry.
Grindr is for my gay, bisexual, lesbian, transgender, queer, all of that type of stuff. Muzz Match is for Muslims. Muzz Match. Zoe is for lesbian and bisexual, queer. women.
Zoe?
Zoe. Z-O-E. Or Zoe, I don't know. Okay. Cross Pass is for Christian dating. Cross Pass. Christian dating. So, I've been on Christian Mingle. I don't believe Christian Mingle is really Christian.
It's not.
Look, he like sign me up.
It's not.
Miss Parker?
Right.
Okay, so here's another topic that I have that I definitely need to touch before we wrap up in a little bit. Friend zone. Friend zone. What do y'all think about friend zone? You kind of touched on it already, but what do y'all think about? So when I was doing my research for this show, they always talk about the man being put in the friend zone, but what about women being put in the friend zone? It definitely happens quite often as well. I talk to a lot of women about that, and it happens. It recently happened to myself, but we'll talk about that in a minute. What do you think?
I put somebody in the friend zone, but it wasn't. I don't think I meant to do it, but so when I first, got divorced, I gotta tell a story because it's a story behind it.
I love it.
But I was out. I was married for 7 years, never had a chance to get out and soil my royal oats, so I was out in the streets, and I met somebody who was great wife material, so would be a great fit. I just wasn't ready.
Right.
So, instead, and I had enough respect to her for her not to play with her emotions or, make it just about a you know, tipping and dipping. And I guess I would say that I've inadvertently friend zoned her.
Inadvertently.
Yeah.
I mean, did you tell her you wasn't with a relationship at the present moment?
I did.
Right.
I did. So maybe I did.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah, I did.
how are you putting somebody in the friend zone if you're outwardly communicating that, hey, I'm not ready for a relationship. That's cool. Let's kick it. If something happens, it happens. Oh well.
Right.
Jay?
Yeah.
I've never been put in a friend zone. I don't think so. I've put men in friend zones on purpose. Because like I watch a lot of sports, so it's like, I just be wanting some dudes just to watch sports and just hang out with, shoot shit basically. But they end up liking me and they're just like, no, I'm not feeling you, or I'm not attracting you, just like my homie. So I just put them in a friend zone. I mean, that's about it.
How do men get out of that though?
Once I put you there, I don't think you can get out of it. For me, I've never.
It just depends. You
I would
look
say,
further on in life, maybe.
I would say, yeah, we because you gotta be friends first. So I mean, if we're friends and we start like getting closer and closer, then maybe I'll find that attraction somewhere. Never know, like you said.
Right.
Sorry.
What the friends? I'm friends with everybody. You hear me? I'm friends with everybody. I love friends. Point blank. Period. I mean, like you said, you got to be friends before anything else. I want to feel that vibe before anything else. I want to have that trust and faith in you before anything else. If I hang around somebody long enough, I'm gonna see a whole bunch of flags anyway, and I'm be like, I'm so glad I didn't get up with you.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? But
For real.
So, for instance, this person that I was talking to, we started off as friends, but there was always a romantic element to it all. But
y'all was messing around?
He kind of, sort of, but not really. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. Yes.
y'all messed around.
We was messing around a little bit, not all the way.
Right.
And he has everything on this list, like everything that I mentioned on that list, but he wasn't ready, and so he friends up. So we've had conversations about, do I ever get out of this friend zone? Maybe, but not right now. So that's why I'm out here dating. We'll see what happens.
So he had everything on the list, and are you still willing to be friends with him?
Oh yeah, we're
be cool or whatever. So that at that point when he decides to open up, my thing is people are not being honest with people. You know what I'm saying? Point blank.
Hello, say that.
It'd be like, look,
Keep it G.
if it's something about me that you do not like or that's turning you off, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Don't keep on saying, hey, let's go out and have a meal.
Right.
Or let's go hang out, whoop-de-whoop, blase, and I'm really digging you.
Right.
And you know I'm digging you.
Right.
Now that to me is this new friend zone level.
Right.
You don't really digging you or whatnot, and you just consistently feeding off of me like that.
Right.
He's a pretty honest person though. He's kept it real pretty much the whole time.
So can I ask you this? If whenever he's ready and you're not, are you open to making that work if the opportunity?
You gotta think about it. If I'm available, absolutely, I will. He's not put in that category of no, I'm never gonna date you.
Well, sometimes people take that stuff personal. And then they'll put that person, well, he ain't want me, so I'm just going, he gonna be, I'm a friend, you a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like that maturity.
No, I'm not
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
No. We're super close friends, and if he decides that he's ready to date me and I'm available, then we can have a conversation about it. It's that simple.
Okay.
And if I'm ready, then cool. No big deal. I'm not gonna hold that against you because you put me on.
So what if you lose something off that list though?
How significant off that list? Because let's go back to that. Let's see.
Y'all killing me with this list.
What if he's not romantic?
Oh, he's never gonna lose that. Not that person. Let me put it that way. He has all of these things. I doubt that he's ever going to lose any of these things. There's only one on here that I could see that him wavering with, but it's kind of negotiable. So yeah, that part.
What if he got 2 more baby moms by the time he decides?
Boy.
Okay, I'm ready now. Twins on the way. You know what? Let's make it work, Candy. Let's go ahead and make it work. I got 3 on the way.
A major conversation. Because what is your relationship with those baby mamas? That's what's important.
Okay, so
what is your relationship with those?
Just because he had everything on that list, you're willing to listen to what his relationship is, but are you willing to do the same thing with those other men that you might meet that have more children? That might be a perfect fit for you.
Yes, I am. But again, it all goes back to what is your relationship with those 2 women or 3 women or how? No, it's 4 or 5. It's just too much. But because I have to deal with all of those different people if I'm going to be with you. And if your relationship is not good with them, then how am I going to be able to have a relationship? Because your kids are going to come to our house, right? And I'm going to treat them like I treat my son.
I didn't hear you, Jaye. What'd you say?
Oh no, your kids are gonna come to my house. I'm gonna feed them. I'm gonna love on them. I'm gonna care about them just like I would my sons.
My question is, would you accept a man that can't put those women in place?
Probably.
You don't want that type of man, am I correct?
Oh hell no, that's your situation. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Exactly.
I'm in that place. I don't want to have
So tables turn. What if it was a mother who had multiple baby daddies? Would you expect the man to put the other men in their place, or because that's her situation, would she be the person?
Very seldom.
But but you're missing it. I'm not.
No, it happens a lot.
Listen, I'm not expecting the other person, the person that's not a part of that, to put them in their place. I'm expecting that man or that woman to put them into the place. Whoever just say if the wife has 2 kids from a previous relationship, and just say, the baby daddy got issues. They got issues together. Does the man do y'all expect the man to step in and deal with the baby daddy, or do y'all expect the woman? So here's how I perceive that. So I have a best friend that's just like this situation, right? So they come together, the man and the woman. They have this conversation. What is the expectations? Honestly, for me, and I know this doesn't happen a lot, but honestly, for me, I feel like everybody should come together. This is a unit right now. If we're getting married, or we've been in this thing for a good amount of time, we basically married anyway. I feel like everybody needs to sit down and have a conversation. Right. Like, how is this going to go? And at maturity level, how is this going to go? How are we going to work this out? Listen, these kids didn't ask to come into this world, so we all got to be on one accord. And I get it, we're going to agree to disagree sometimes, but let's not do all this craziness in front of the kids, all of that kind of stuff. That's just my take on it.
I think that's what happens in a perfect world. Right. Because a lot of times, or sometimes, you could have, the baby daddy mad because she moved on, or vice versa, and there might be ill will or feelings, they're feeling like, this and that. So it's all about the level of maturity, and because sometimes people still, they confide in their baby daddy about what their husband ain't doing, or vice versa. It happens a lot. Like, people really.
I know several situations that's happening right now.
Yeah.
I just feel like you all have to learn how to be mature,
man.
And that's not an easy task.
It's not.
That's easy for me. I bought a house for my kids' mothers.
Did you?
And put them all in there.
But see, you're the rare jewel in all of that. You're breed of.
Did you sign the house over to her though, or did you still?
No, it was at the time where one of them was having an issue with the husband, and the other one was having a financial issue, this and that. So I went out and built a house for them. Put everybody in there, rent free, get on your feet, do your thing, and move on. And that's what they did.
Interesting.
And that's wonderful. And you need more men like you. But it's in a perfect world.
Few and far between.
Right. It's very few and far between. And I wish that more people would think that way. Because think about it, our Mexican and Hispanic friends, they will put everybody in one house and then help each other to build another house. And then that family move on and they got all these people and then they move.
And we looking down on them.
Exactly.
They got 15 people, living in an 8-bedroom house, but they saving money. The kids don't leave until they get married. So it builds that culture. But with us, and I hate to say it, but we trying to leave at 17, 6. Like, look,
I can't wait till I get grown. I'm leaving.
And then you be like, dang, adulting sucks. Let me go. go back home. Be like, I don't want to go back home because my parents gonna tell me what to do.
Right. So just as we're getting ready to close this out, I do have a few tips. Work on yourself if you're in this dating life. Work on yourself. Don't hop into anything unless you are ready to be in a committed relationship, unless you are ready to deal with other people's stuff as well, because that everybody comes in with baggage and you gotta choose what you're dealing with. That 80-20 rule is very real. Think about how you approach and people, men and women. Whether we're talking about at the grocery store like Taurus or at church or on social media, don't let it go down in the DMs with that dick picture that I get sometimes.
I can't stand that.
Y'all get pictures?
Yes, we get dick pictures. Yes.
All the time?
Yes. It's actually stopped. It's slowed down since I put a video on a few months ago, and everybody had over 2,000 views of me talking about how I would get dick pictures in my inbox, and it's slowed down a lot. So I only get one every blue moon now.
Did you threaten to post them?
No. I didn't. I just told them how I don't want to see it unless it's mine. I don't want to view it.
Or you asked for it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or unless
I don't want to see no random dick pic. I don't. That's just like a turn off. I don't want no.
If I want it, then you can send me dick pictures all day. You know.
If it's mine, it's a different story. Like, what that thing looking like right now?
Cause best
Send me a
believe.
picture right now.
Listen, best believe I'm gonna send you one of
Look at
these
Jaye.
shots. I'm gonna send you one of these shots if you mind. Like it's going down, but I don't want to see that before that.
So how long? No.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask, how long would it just depend on the vibe. You might send a sexy picture. How long would it be before you would do that with somebody you dating or talking to?
At this stage, it's probably a couple months. At this stage, if we've been friends for a long time before we talk, then I can send you one day one. Oh, you interested? Oh, okay.
Come get it.
Come get it. But if not, then yeah, it's probably a couple months.
I got you.
Yeah, a few months. Be yourself. Put yourself out there, because a lot of people don't want to put themselves out there. And
Yeah, I don't go nowhere. I be trying. I don't go nowhere. My friends told me you need to get up and just go places. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I network a lot for my business and for Bedroom Kandi, so I have no choice but to put myself out there.
Right.
So, you see me, where was we yesterday we was at a women's conference and I'm dancing the two-step,
They had me at a women conference.
Right.
Did you?
That's what's up. You get you some numbers?
I'm gonna set up.
Grandma Susie.
Look.
Looking for that social security check.
Hey, put me as a beneficiary. Direct deposit.
Good info.
Yeah.
Let's go get some ice cream.
Another tip, be honest about your feelings. I think we've all talked about that. I'm a very honest person. I will tell you how I feel. And I'm also, like we said, in Aries. Once I tell you how I feel, we work it out, I let it go. I'm not going to remember it 2 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now. You can't be coming at me mad about something I did 3,000 months ago, because I'm not going to remember.
Leo Nation.
So,
Yeah, Leo Nation. We here.
Scorpio.
oh, God.
October.
October 23rd.
Oh.
Oh, God. Them damn Leos.
Hold on, player. Hold on, player.
Yeah, Kenny, our producer, our engineer back there, he's a Leo.
Oh,
God.
I know I like Kenny for a reason.
I said, be honest about your feelings and don't fear failure. No is just an avenue to your yes. So you're gonna find somebody, get out there, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
So those are my few tips. Did you guys want to add anything?
That right there. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say walk into every relationship, every part of your life with the way you walked in, walk out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You walked in there with confidence, walk out of it with confidence, knowing that you gave every bit of yourself to that relationship,
Right.
and don't allow it to change you in a bad way, but change you in a positive way.
Yes, come on,
Evaluate yourself after you leave this situation. It don't have to take you a month, 2 months, 5 months, a year, 2 years. Oh, I don't know what's going on in this world. No, that's because you haven't taken the time to really break down yourself.
Right.
It's hard to look in the mirror and break down yourself before
Right.
anything else.
Right.
Right.
Well, I hear you
'cause
saying
a lot of times-
self-evaluation and reflection.
Right.
People have a
Self-reflection
hard
is key.
time being honest with themselves. They will start to believe their own lies. So if you can be honest with yourself, you can be honest with anybody else.
Absolutely.
Right.
Anything else?
Love yourself so you can love others.
Yes.
Shout out to Trouble. Shout out to Trouble. He said that on my last show. I had to steal it.
Yes.
Can't pour from an empty cup.
Hello. Thank you.
Stay open to change.
Yeah.
Stay open to change.
But don't try to change that person.
Oh.
Ain't no need to change them unless I'm trying to elevate them.
Hello. Hello. There you go.
Hey! So Kenny has told us to keep going for a minute, so I won't close us out. Let me go back to one other thing, guys. The friend zone. That friend zone. Oh, yeah.
I don't like that friend.
I know.
Skip,
But
pass.
But it's a common thing right now, and y'all were talking about situationships on your show Friday, and I talked about it maybe like 5-6 shows ago. But it's a common thing because people that really should be in the friend zone, they in situationships.
Because they can't keep that thing in their pants.
Oh,
How was it a common thing? It started out with women friend zoning men.
No.
It became popular talk because women were friend zoning men. Now, when the table started turning, I'm just saying, I won't put that out there. Now, when the table started turning, and these men are getting overran by women, now y'all like, oh, this friend zone, this some buzz. Because y'all, I mean, back in the day, I was like, girl, he tried.
He
You
tried
know,
it, but no, keep it going.
we still cool and everything. But now, it's like,
Stunning.
right.
All
Now, now you got a lot of women out here for the men, and men are like, yeah, she tried, man, but she over there looking sour face.
Man.
But y'all act like friend zone is purgatory, though. I mean, for real, it's just a place for you to grow.
I think for a man, it definitely is purgatory.
Really?
I think so.
I think
Because
we
I
need
think it's
something
hard to
else.
get up out of there. Once they put you in that box, I really feel like that's the end of it.
I know Jay said that, but if I friend zone you, it might be for a reason inside of me, not necessarily with you.
I'm not just completely closed off to it because he made a good point. So I mean, if we become closer, then you never know what could happen. So.
Right.
Has anybody ever made it out?
No.
We just want to verify that.
But now he said that, I'm gonna be more open, maybe.
It happens naturally, though. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, one day it just catches you out going like,
Yeah. So maybe.
I kind of think it also it makes you lose your sense of entitlement, because I think a lot of times people go into things thinking that you're obligated to be with me, or you're obligated to do this, that, and the third with me, and it's just not anymore.
that's why I like to go into stuff freely. Because once you start, first of all, we talking, and we getting serious with our conversation or whatever. I'm not trying to put labels on anything because I don't want you to feel like you need to transition to a phase that everyone else has set for us to be. You know what I'm saying? Everyone has set ideas and rules for us to be in our relationship.
Right.
No,
What works
I
for
want
them might not work for you.
Right, exactly. I want you to learn me, and then we make up our own rules, and we flow the way we flow. Because we try to keep on flowing like everybody else, we're not
end up
gonna
like
flow.
everybody else.
Right, we're going to end up like everybody else.
That's why you don't put judgment on everybody else's relationship, because it's not us.
Right, even if they got 5 men, you don't put no judgment on their relationship.
I'm judging.
I'm gonna bring that back.
You got 5, I'm judging.
She puts her own judgment on there, because
But
she's
I'm not like
I
this
know I'm
though.
wrong.
If they got 5 men out there, there's 5 men. There's a reason why these 5 men are not paying attention to those signs. So those are the 5 men you don't want anyway, because they ignoring signs just like these women over here ignoring signs. I don't want them either. They let Leroy run all up and down. Leroy on the street
He
corner.
couldn't have a more respectable name like Brian or
I'm talking about the Leroy on the street corner. Leroy.
it can't be Josh or Jonathan.
It's either Leroy or Tyrone, huh?
With Tyrone. Okay.
I like Leroy.
You like Leroy?
I like Leroy.
like Leroy on the street corner, right upside the head and everything else. I love that. I'm like, come on, man.
Y'all are so stupid. I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, y'all. Tell me y'all will come back. Tell me you.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Time to come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I wear my shirt?
No.
So, guys, just remember to keep all the tips in mind that you've heard throughout the show tonight, and let us know if you have any comments. We're here to answer any questions. We'll see you in the post. This has been Candy Jaye wishing you love-filled days and orgasmic